All right.
How about a big hand for George one more time?
Oh, thank you. Am I happening again? Can you hear me? All right. So welcome to our little company. We just moved here last Wednesday. As Mark mentioned, we've been next door for about 15 years, but we've sort of changed our business model. We've done that a couple of different times, and that's one of the things I wanted to mention, talk about. I guess I'll spend 2 minutes and quickly just tell you about how our company works, and then I'll talk about a couple of ideas that I wanted to just share some suggestions with respect to, I guess, entrepreneurship, to call it that. So, Exotic Car Share we started 20 years ago, or 15 years ago, sorry, in the year 2000. And it's a membership club where members can reserve vehicles, sports cars in the program for weeks or 3-day weekends. So it's like signing a library book out of a library. And it's ad hoc, and they're vehicles that are in the $60,000 to $150,000 range. So then in 2007, we launched Curvy, which is a national brand that is focused on pure timeshares of little higher-end exotic cars. So sort of modeled on the NetJets, sort of modeled on timeshares of other luxury things like condos and yachts, that type of thing. You can buy a 1/5 share, so 5 people share a vehicle. Each person drives the vehicle for 8 weeks a year. You can trade weeks between vehicles. We're headquartered here in Chicago. We're in Los Angeles. We're in Naples, Florida, and we're in Brooklyn, New York. And so the timeshare business, which we started in 2007, was originally set up like a NetJets or like, say, a Disney Resorts, where we managed properties, which were the exotic cars, but they were our properties. So we owned the vehicles, and then our members would buy timeshares in them, and we would manage the schedules and all of the logistics of the process. But one of the points I wanted to make is it's sort of a variation on, because there's no real secrets in entrepreneurship anymore, right? They've all been exposed. But I want to just bring up a couple of topics and talk about some variations on some normal principles of entrepreneurship. And one of them is to listen to your customer, right? That's an obvious tenet. Everybody knows that's the best way to market, best way to sell is to listen to your customer and then provide them what they want. Let them tell you what it is that they need. But my twist on it is, as entrepreneurs, what we don't tend to have is a board of directors or a product marketing group or any of the sub-organizations that a large company has to shape and evolve the business model and the business direction. So my suggestion is, if we can use our clients almost as a sort of board of directors and use their feedback, not just for them to tell us what they need so that we can serve them better directly, but also if they understand our business, and presumably they do because they're buying our service, and they may have different ideas they can bring to the party which could help us change or improve our business model. So one example of that is that when we first started the Curvy Road timeshare brand in 2007, it was based on us managing the properties like a Disney Resorts or a NetJets. And then what ended up happening is a lot of our clients would bring up the notion of, hey, what if you had some of us, your clients, put exotic cars in your program? And of course, we just turned a deaf ear to it. No, we know what we're doing. Our business model works. This is a good way to do it. That's too complicated insurance, and oh my God, legal things, forget about it, right? But eventually, we decided that, as the economy changed and more people kept bringing that to our attention, we decided to look at it and evaluate it, and sure enough, that's what we've ended up doing. We've entirely changed our business model, and now nearly 100% of the vehicles that are in the program are actually owned by members of the program itself, who then place the vehicle in the program. But we had to figure out a lot of different things having to do with insurance and the creation of sub-LLCs and all of the legal aspects and everything else. But at the end of the day, while our original business model got us to a point, and it worked very well for us to a point, when it was time to expand our inventory and try to open up quickly in other cities, we were kind of limited because we're not Disney and we don't have unlimited funding. And so when it was time to expand, we had to really scramble, whereas using OPM, other people's money, right, and using their their asset, their property, and then we taking on more of the role of just managing the properties, if you will, has allowed us to expand both in terms of, you know, the inventory and the whole service and also geographically. So that was an example of using our customers more like a board of directors than, you know, just listening to them as to how we can service them better. So that was one point. And then I guess the second quick example, which is a more traditional one, it's a fun one though, is we had a couple of Lamborghinis in the program, and one of the new investor folks who was going to put a vehicle in the program had talked with us and we weren't sure what color to get, right? So we decided to do a survey. We put 5 colors out on the survey: white, black, orange, red, and lime green. And we surveyed the entire membership. It's like 3,000 people altogether. And, you know, my choice, so had I been in charge of deciding the color, which is originally the way he's like, what color should I get? Well, let me tell you, no, but we didn't do that, fortunately. And my idea was this beautiful metallic red. I thought it was a great color. His idea, the gentleman who was about to buy the vehicle, he totally wanted to get a lime green Lamborghini Gallardo. I thought it would be great. I didn't think it was terrible. But as it turned out, I'll just show you a picture of it here. I'm going to go off camera here. This is what we ended up with, because red was the very last voted for color, and lime green was the second to last voted for. But this is what the membership picked. And this vehicle, since we got it, May 1st through end of September, has literally been booked at 100% utilization, which has never happened in the 15 years we've been in business with any car ever. It's 100% reserved from now until October, basically. And the membership picked black by an overwhelming majority. So had we decided to go with our own option, we would have been much less happy. And of course, we would have generated much less revenue. So anyway, no, I'll just stop with that. That was my twist on, you know, listening to your customer really is to kind of utilize them as somewhat of a board of directors, because as entrepreneurs, we don't have the benefits of all those different marketing and advertising groups and think tanks within our organization. And the best think tank you can have, even for not just how to best service your customer, but for the business model itself sometimes, can be your customers. So I'll quit there and just, I guess if anybody does have any questions about you know, Curvy Road or anything else, I'll be happy to field them. And if not,
I had a quick question for you.
yes.
How long have you been a member of ITEX, and what has the impact been on your business?
Oh, excellent question. Karen, how long have I been a member of ITEX?
2009.
2009, so 5 years. Yes.
Well, I wanted to rent your Lamborghini for a day, doing the make an impression on this for 1 day.
No, we don't do anything like renting, like for a day or anything like that. So we offer one of two things. So it's a good question. One of two things: either a timeshare. So say a 1/10 share is 4 weeks across the course of a year, a week at a time, in a primary vehicle, but you can trade weeks, and that's in Curvy Road. But exotic car share, like that Alfa, that Ferrari, they're an exotic car share, not Curvy Road. We offer 3-day weekends and weeks. So as Kelly said, we'll offer certificates, and it'll be, you know, 3-day weekend in the Ferrari. And then at that point, so you're buying it for that 3-day weekend, and it includes all of our regular policies. We don't change anything. So that's the one thing with when we do stuff on trade, we just do it exactly the same way we do it on this when we do it cash. Yes.
Did you ever do it where you use one of your vehicles as a display only?
Yes, we do displays. That's kind of like a separate strategy, but we do that. We've done a lot of displays. We do a lot of video shoots, photo shoots. We're on. We have a couple of websites, Exotic Cars for Films. The number 4, the word for it. So then, film companies will want to
So
just
if I
put a
want
Ferrari.
to use it for display, that's a possibility.
It is a possibility. Yes, that's correct. Yeah, we do. That's kind of the exception to the timeshare or the membership use. Thank you for asking that. Actually, that's a good question, because that's the third way that we do this is for displays / photo shoots, movie shoots, video shoots.
Great.
Because you know what's so great is the car doesn't really get used. So from our standpoint, it's phenomenal. The car sits there smiling, and you know, you get some revenue, so it's great.
Yeah, from doing special events as I do, sometimes we get into that type of arena.
Yes. Yeah, so we actually have one member of ITEX who, I'm talking about Glenn, who uses, he has one particular car, he loves to have a yellow Corvette Grand Sport convertible. And it's a sign company, and he will reserve the car for the weekend, and he'll letter it with his business's stuff on there, and then he'll go do an event where the car is sort of like this prominent featured display. And so that's what he uses it for, but we're cool, we're agnostic, and if you do the right signage with the removal of vinyl letters, it's completely harmless, it's all good.
Great.
Thanks, great question. Anybody else? 3, 2, 1.
All right, how about a big hand for George? Thank you so much. Thank you.